And then I caught the culprit, red-handed. Well, not red-handed because there was no evidence, but she was the one who did it. Hi and welcome to the Dreamverse, where I tell stories from my subconscious. And this one is like a full movie plot that just appeared in my dream. I honestly don't know what this dream means. I'm not going to focus on the interpretation because honestly, the storyline is more interesting than whatever the interpretation could be, in my opinion. And today is a bit of a temporary setup because I'm moving soon, well, traveling, moving, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to study in Canada for university, and so it's quite a big move, and this is not my normal microphone, and things will be changing. But this is probably the second last video you'll see of me in this location. Anyway, on to the story. We're at school in a big building, and some sort of evacuation is happening. But the boys and girls are separated. We pass the bathrooms, and I'm not quite sure what's happening. But somehow I know what's happening because I see this suspicious behavior. Now, this has nothing to do with my normal life, but it's probably just because of all the movies I watch. Apparently, there was a suspicion of one of the boys possessing illegal substances, so they were like searching all of them, and they had to like kind of empty all of their things, all of their bags, like prove that they weren't the one possessing the things. So the boys literally had robes on, so they had to take all of their clothes off and just have the robes on to show that, okay, I don't have anything on my person. Probably would have just been easier to like search them, but that's my mind for you. On my way past the bathrooms, I saw this boy and he was like trying to hide something and whisper to his friends, and I knew they were somehow involved in this. But I didn't do anything, I just walked past, evacuated to the auditorium. They didn't search the girls, it's more like, oh, the boys are the culprits, we're gonna search them. So we go past the bathrooms to the top floor where the auditorium is located, and we file in and wait. One of the girls, she's not really my friend, she's playing with a lighter for some reason. And she's like, hey, look. I don't know what she was trying to accomplish, but it was very hazardous and she didn't seem to realize that. As she's doing that and I'm trying to like stop her of being such a danger to everyone, she lights one of my friend's hair on fire. So like we're trying to let her stop, and then in the process of that something dangerous actually happens. And we're all freaking out, but we put out the flames and we try to calm down both the girl whose hair was on fire and the girl who's playing with the lighter. I don't know if there were any teachers around, but they definitely should have been, because this girl just continued and continued. She didn't want to calm down and listen to us. And then in a matter of seconds, before we could do anything, I don't know how this happened. I think it's a combination of it being a dream, so it's not real, and maybe some of the plot. But seemingly out of nowhere, all these flames come up. It's a big auditorium, right? So in all the corners, from the sides, the flames come up. So it was definitely not this girl who did it, but it was some of her doing. This is now a real evacuation, not only for the students to be separated, but for us to get out of the building. In the corner away from all the seats, there's an emergency exit, but there are flames in front of it. So I'm like, okay, let me try to get past the flames. Now, I've never been in a real situation like this, and this is a dream. So what I did is I like kind of jumped over the flames trying to get past it, but my pants almost caught on fire and I had to like douse it, like pat it to like get rid of it. But then I said to the people behind me, don't come through here because you'll likely put yourself on fire. And there were other exits, so I hope like the people could get out there. But through that emergency exit door, there was a metal, is it a staircase? It's not really, like it's like a spiral, but it's smooth. There are no stairs on it. I go down that and it's a long path down. But when I reach the bottom, there are these three girls, right? The one girl is the one who I believe set this whole thing up, the one who had the lighter and everything. And she was with two of her friends. So they all somehow got an escape plan and reached the bottom before anyone else did. I was the first one, apart from them, who reached the bottom, who evacuated successfully. They were all laughing, and it was clear that they were the ones behind this. It was clearly premeditation, and they had an escape route. Other than the one that I took, because they were there first. What just bugged me is she was acting all so innocent when playing with the lighter, just pretending to have a bit of fun. So I said I wouldn't analyze the dream, but I'm just confused about the exact plot, like what actually happened. So there are like people that are being searched for like illegal substances, and there are people who are evacuating, and then the whole school bursts into flames. So what's going on? What I think is maybe this was all an elaborate plan. So when the boys knew they were being searched, they somehow made a plan with their buddies. I think the girls were somehow involved, and they created the fire as a distraction so that everyone would have to evacuate, and then they could do something and get away with it all. You know how movies clearly show all the different perspectives and the motives and what actually happened? This is an interesting perspective because I'm just the bystander of the full events, and there's a lot of room for speculation. So let me know what you think of this story down below. What do you think actually happened? Why did the girl cause the fire? Who is behind this? I have a lot of dreams in a school setting, but this is definitely an odd one. Bye, and stay tuned for the next story from my subconscious.